Alright guys, this is a fun command. It's called the slash postcard command. And let me first explain what it's for. Students will, when working, for example, with calculus, I've had so many students who have just, by the end of the year, forgotten really fundamental ideas, like the idea that the derivative tells you the slope of a tangent line. They can tell you the Newton's method formula, they can tell you the integration by parts formula, but these core big ideas somehow didn't really stick. And that's super common. I mean, missing the forest for the trees, that's a very common issue that we see in education. And the idea of the slash postcard command is we want to use it very sparingly, and we only use it to highlight the most important facts. And when I say an important fact, what do I mean? Something like, if it's calculus, the derivative tells you the slope of a tangent line. That's, something worthy of this. If it's algebra, that like terms need the same base and the same exponent, that's also something that's worthy of this. Oh, cool, Chelsea's in here too. So let's go ahead and here's how to use the function. We type slash postcard, and whatever text you want to highlight. So let's say I want to highlight the derivative tells you the slope of the tangent line. All right. So a few things will happen. First, in a second you'll see an image load. It's going to show an image that uses a special font called Sans Forgetica. It was designed by an Australian university. And the idea of this font, oh, here we go. The idea of this font is that it's tricky for your mind to do. So your mind has to kind of work at it, and it makes things just stick in your mind. It helps you remember things. And that's why I call it Sans Forgetica, like without forgetting, essentially the underlying word root derivation of that. Now, so this pops up, the student sees this right away, and this gets their attention, it stops them in their tracks, whatever they're doing, but we can take it even farther. If you click mail a postcard to the student, it will literally send a physical postcard to the student, addressed to the student, their address, that has this image on the front of the postcard. And it's a pretty big looking postcard. It's 8.5 by 5.5, so half the size of a normal piece of paper. You could click direct message a student. That's going to send a direct message from the VMH to the student in their direct messages between there. Send audio to the student. What does that mean? It means it's going to actually take this, use a text-to-speech algorithm, and have them listen to this so that they're getting it auditory as well. Email the student. It'll send the student an email. And the one to use only in the most dire circumstances, of course, is the text and email the parent. And that one means it's going to say, it'll say to the parent, it won't just say this, it'll say, can you remind, if it's Chelsea, it'll say, can you remind Chelsea that the derivative tells you the slope of the tangent line. So the idea is they're going to get this on a sliding scale. You can do one of these, you can do all of them. Whatever you think is appropriate. You don't need to use the full nuclear option every single time, but if you feel that it's something where something is just not sticking and you know it's important, use it. Now, here's one to not use it. Don't use this for minor stuff, right? This is not for, something like, Sir Walter Elliot is not a new made lord. That's not what this is for. This is for big fundamental principles. So if you're teaching geometry, if it's one of the 3 or 4 most important things in geometry, by all means use it. If it's not, don't use this, use something else. So anyway, that's the slash postcard command. Just review, type slash postcard, whatever text you want, and it'll give you, this will come up no matter what, and then you can use whatever other options you like.